The NFL has seen a lot of players throw up hand signals and have been captured on videotape multiple times, which has become a concern for the NFL community. That's why the NFL has hired experts to examine and identify these hand gestures to come to a conclusion of whether or not these gestures hide hidden gang messages or affiliations. In this video, we will show you some of the NFL players that have had or still have gang ties. Not everyone on this list has thrown up the gang signs on the field, but they are all pretty much involved in gang affiliation. So before we dive into this list, don't forget to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment gang ties if you would like to be entered in this month's $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. Now, number 1 is Deshaun Jackson. A couple of years ago, rumor has it that Deshaun Jackson was part of a gang. It was pretty great deal in the NFL, which was a main reason that caused the Philadelphia Eagles to let him go. Jackson was seen throwing gang signs in games, particularly against D'Angelo Hall of the Washington Redskins. A Los Angeles Police Department detective, Eric Crossan, said that those gestures were neighborhood Crip signs and that Jackson might not be affiliated with the gang, but they don't take kindly to those not in the gang throwing up those gang signs. And it's something that the NFL does not acknowledge or want in their league at all. Deshaun Jackson later released a statement denying that he is in a gang, and he also said that these reports were irresponsible and just not true. Number 2 is Aqib Talib. Aqib Talib admitted that he shot himself, but is this true? Aqib Talib has been seen throwing up multiple gang signs, which led everyone to instantly assume the gunshot was gang related. The police weren't so sure about this, so they continued with the investigation. Talib suffered a gunshot wound in his right leg. Luckily, he avoided surgery and was released the next day. An earlier police report stated that a witness had been with Talib in a large group of people in a park when he heard a gunshot. This report did not say whether or not Talib had a weapon, so the NFL continued to investigate the incident. This incident did cause him to miss the Broncos' visit to the White House to commemorate their Super Bowl 50 victory. And even though it's not determined if the shooting was gang related at all, it is said that Talib does have gang ties and he has thrown up multiple signs on the field to prove that. Next is Richard Sherman. You cannot change where you come from, but you can change your future, and this is how Richard Sherman's parents helped him become an NFL player straight out of his neighborhood. His father was a gangster before he turned his life around, and Sherman said that he himself wasn't in a gang, but he spent a lot of time with gang members, but luckily for him, he didn't choose that dark path. Instead, he chose a great lifestyle and came out very, very successful. Another one, which is very well known, is Aaron Hernandez. When we talk about Aaron Hernandez, we can simply just say that he is a total waste of talent. He thought he was invisible and untouchable, or something mentally wrong with him, and he decided to commit multiple murders over the last 3 to 5 years. He did this while still maintaining a high level of play, and he had the potential to play a long and very successful career, but instead he did the wrong choice and ended up being convicted for the murder of Odell Lloyd. He is known to be a member of the Bristol Blood Gang, and he also got a tattoo of the gang. He has gotten into multiple fights in prison while still being loyal to his gang. Unfortunately, his story has ended, but that was another player with an NFL gang tie. Another one is Adam Jones. Adam Jones is one of the players that has had too many off-field issues. He has been a suspect in multiple gang-affiliated homicides and shootings in Atlanta, along with a few other areas. The way it usually happens is Jones goes into a club or bar and bam, immediately after that a shooting happens at the same place. He has also been seen with members of the International Robbing Crew of Atlanta, who increased the murder rate in Atlanta by 20%. Also, to add to that, other people have claimed that they have heard Jones agreeing to pay someone to kill a man he argued with. Next is Jason Avant. Jason Avant openly admitted that he was part of a gang and used to deal drugs in his neighborhood while growing up. He also said that he was the worst drug dealer ever, just because it wasn't natural to him and it never felt right for him. The person who had a great impact on Avant was his grandmother, who used her sense of faith to keep Avant away from this way of life. Thanks to her advice, he was able to turn his life around and make it to the NFL. Today, Jason Avant does everything he can to give back to his community. Next is Marvin Harrison. Harrison hasn't been known for gang-related activity while growing up. However, his name was part of a high-profile murder case right before the end of his career. This began when a drug dealer entered Harrison's bar in Philadelphia and they had an argument. Later that night, that man was shot, but luckily he didn't die. A year later, this man appeared on TV and said that it was Harrison who shot him. It didn't pass a long time after that before he was shot again in his car a few blocks away from Harrison's bar. the case is still open and nobody has been found guilty yet. Last, we have Brandon Marshall. The last one for this list is Brandon Marshall. He is known to have many off-field issues, starting from petty theft in college to multiple counts of domestic violence and having problems with gangs. One incident that has caused trouble to Marshall is the death of a former teammate, Darren Williams, in 2006. This happened while Marshall and Williams were celebrating at a nightclub in Denver when he got in a fight with some people with gang affiliations. Later that night, there was a shooting outside the club and Williams got shot by mistake because the men wanted to shoot at Marshall. Luckily for him, that night did not turn out how bad it could have, and he still got to play in the NFL and basically get out of that lifestyle altogether, because there has been no talk about him being in any type of gang or problem since then. And with that being said, that's all I have for this video. I do want to know which of these surprised you the most. A lot of people don't know about gang affiliation in the NFL, so if any of these surprised you or you found them interesting, let me know down in the comments. Also, don't forget to leave a like on this video, and if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. 6 Point Media. I'll see you in the next one.